Hello and welcome to my kitchen. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make basmati rice at home using the finger method. So let's get cooking. Now, generally when we're entertaining or we're trying to estimate how much rice we need to make, we go by handfuls per person. So if we wanted to make rice for one person, we take one handful of rice. In my house, we have 4 people, so I'm going to take 4 handfuls of rice. So 4 of my handfuls came up to just about 1 cup of rice, and that's how much I normally make on a daily basis. So it's a good measure for me. So if you want to estimate you've got 5 or 6 people, just use that measure. It actually works really well. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this into a sieve and wash the rice. And wash it under running water until the water runs clear. Then put the washed rice into a saucepan, but make sure your saucepan isn't too big. Then add water to the rice and make sure your rice is flat at the bottom, so shake the pan. Now you want to add enough water so that the top of the rice is at the bottom of your finger and the water level hits that first mark on your finger. So the bottom of my finger is hitting the rice and I'm going to add water. So you just want it to be just by that mark on your finger. So when you're using this finger method, the size of the pan is very important, because if you have a very wide pan, then your rice is going to sit very shallow at the bottom and you'll have way too much water in there. So make sure that it's a reasonable size so that your rice sits, you know, depending on how much you have in there, obviously, you know, but a good depth, and then your water level will be just perfect for the rice. So now I'm going to add a dash of oil in here, about half a teaspoon, and about half a teaspoon of salt. Give it a stir. Then you want to make sure your flame is a reasonable size. Like this stove would be perfect for it, whereas I have a smaller heating ring here and that would be too slow. Now I'm going to turn on my heat to a medium-high level, which is the number 7 on my stove. Now I'm going to let this come to a boil and boil off some of the water. Once the rice comes to a boil, reduce the heat to medium, so on my stove it's the number 5. Once the water has burnt off and you can see the levels of the bubbles are just to where the rice is, you want to reduce the heat to the absolute lowest temperature you can. So on my stove that's 1. And then cover the pan with a lid, and we're going to cook it like this for about 7 minutes. And throughout this whole process, you're not stirring the rice, you're not touching it. The only thing you're adjusting is the temperature. So it's been 7 minutes and I'm going to turn the stove off. Now at this point you can stir it, but there's a particular way to do it. So you're either going to use the back of a spoon or a knife, and you're just going to gently put some air into the rice like this. You see how nice and fluffy that looks? That's how you make perfect rice. I hope you guys are enjoying all these tips and these lessons that I'm giving you and the recipes I'm bringing you. So join me again soon for some more cooking inspiration.